What's up, guys? Today we're tuning into the second episode of the What Do You Think Podcast. Today our feature is Xavier Goodman. We're talking about all sorts of things, some of them including space travel, UFC, China, and genetically modifying babies. Now, I hope you all enjoy it just as much as we had fun recording this thing, because that's what it's about. We're about having fun and learning new things. If you guys want to get on the podcast, just tell me or Caden or text one of us or comment, any of them. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn that notification bell on because the next episode is going to be insane. I hope you guys all enjoy it. We're going to talk about conspiracy theories and all sorts of things. I don't want to give too much about it, but it's going to be a great episode. It's going to be gold. So make sure you tune into that one and spread the word, spread the love, and I hope you all enjoy. All right, this is the second episode of What Do You Think Podcast. It's James Crockett, the co-owner, and then we got Kane Shepard, the other co-owner. And today for our featured guest, we have Xavier Goodman. Now, Xavier Goodman, tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of just what you want to do in life and your kind of aspirations and dreams.
Well, a little bit about myself. I love to learn. I love to I love to help people, and about that, that's about it, I guess. And then what I want to do with my life, what I want to achieve, I want to help people in the best way I can. Um, with synthetic biology and generally being conscious and educating people about problems in the world.
Now, we'll go a little bit deeper into synthetic biology a little bit later, but I'm not a big, well, I'm into the UFC, but I don't know much about the UFC, but I know Caden watched the fight. I don't know if Xavier did. So I'll have you two talk about the newest UFC fight a little bit, because for me, I don't really know anything. So I'm going to let Caden take it on and I guess really just talk about their thoughts on the fight and kind of how it went.
All right, so I didn't really watch the whole event. I didn't watch like the first three fights. I think it was five, right? It's five fights, Xavier, for the card.
What, card?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I only watched the last two fights because I didn't really know anybody on the lower like fights. But I made sure to watch Michael Page versus Char Bullet because Michael Page is one of my favorite fighters of all time, and I think I like Char Bullet, but I think he's overrated, right? What do you think about that, Goodman?
Right. I feel like I haven't been too big in the UFC like recently, like just because I guess, but from what I've seen, it just seems like he got a quick highlight reel, and then, but overall, he's just like a mid level fighter. Not mid level, obviously, he's in the UFC, but maybe definitely not a champion.
I think he's a great striker, but I think it's his striking ability is overrated due to how flashy his striking is. It's kind of like who am I gonna try to think of someone? Can you think of anybody that's like really flashy, so it makes them seem good, but they're not really that good?
I'm saying when a fighter, I don't know, I can't think of any fighters like that, but when a fighter has flashy moves, like flashy back kicks and shit, it don't even matter. It's just the aura alone. They won that fight.
Oh, Joaquin Buckley, he's really good, but I'm champion.
Mm-hmm. So I guess, okay,
He beat
I
Mago.
always want to know, in the UFC, what do you think is more important, striking or grappling? Like if you had like a mid-level striker, but he was insane at grappling, would he beat someone that's way better at striking than grappling, or is it kind of like even itself out?
100% of the
Like every
time.
time we're
Not like
shown,
90% of the time, I'd say.
yeah, like
Oh, my bad.
most of the time we're shown like strikers that go into the UFC expecting that they don't need to train grappling, especially nowadays where everyone's more well. Like back in the day, where it was like different people only training in a few styles going against each other, you could get off being more specialized in wrestling or just grappling or just striking. But especially in the modern day, like we haven't seen anyone get to a super high level without like training their grappling or their striking to both be high level. Like we've even seen certain grapplers like have shitty striking and like
Khabib.
they get shit on. I mean, Habib, like he's got power behind his shots, but like
But he doesn't know how
if a
to throw a
striker goes into the
coherent jab.
UFC, like one of my favorite fighters, Stephen Thompson, has trained his grappling, but he's just not. he's not an elite level grappler, frankly, and that's what stopped him in one of his fights from basically getting a title shot, which he probably would have won at the time, given who the champion was. But I forget who it was, but he got knocked the fuck out by a grappler because he was like a little bit higher ranked and he wanted to go against him. But anyway, but like, yeah, it's definitely more important to have grappling in the UFC.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
kind of
because
had.
it's like, oh, my
Here,
bad, you
I'll
can
say
talk.
one real quick. So I kind of had this disagreement with my grandpa because my grandpa used to be big into boxing in Vietnam because Vietnam boxing was big in Vietnam actually.
Right.
And he would always say he thought the UFC was kind of crap. You know, he was like, these boxers back in the day, they would kill these UFC players. And I was like, I don't think you watch UFC, big dog, because like, yes, those boxers are really good at throwing punches, but one of those UFC guys get those people to the ground, they're dead. Like, those boxers are dead if those UFC people get them to the ground because they're crazy, dude. I don't know. I'm not big in the UFC. I'll just see a couple of like main fights, and those grapplers, I don't know, they're crazy to me.
Here's a prime example of that. So the greatest boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali, people say he fell off because he had like brain damage and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the real thing that messed him up was he fought a kickboxer in a fight. And that man just kept kicking his knees. I think Xavier, his knees got like infected or his legs got like infected, right?
Yeah, his
And it
shin
like
got
just
a
messed him
staph
up.
infection.
Yeah, his legs got staph infections because he kept just tanking these leg shots. Boxers don't train for kickboxing at all for the most part. So if they went up against anybody that knows anything besides how to just box, they're cooked no matter what.
And of course, even like outside of that, like specifically, it's like in boxing and in MMA and even kickboxing, you punch different. Like a boxing jab is different from a kickboxing jab because of leg kicks. Like in boxing, you like get rotation in your punches, not necessarily on a jab, but like with a jab, you put your weight forward, you step on it. And like you can't do that in kickboxing because if your weight's on your front leg, even for that small time, someone's gonna take that opening and you're gonna get hit with a lot more leg kicks. So in kickboxing and in MMA, like their jabs look a lot different. And all their punches do
Yeah.
than boxing. And I think that's kind of sad because I love boxing's beautiful to me. Like just how like a boxing fight plays out is very majestic and it looks different in MMA. But like if you've seen like a pure boxer go into boxing or go into kickboxing, like when they start training, they get hit with leg kicks a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's just also because I mean, you focus on one thing, you ain't really gonna. When you go into something that's more mixed, you don't have that skill to be able to compete on that level. What were you about to say, Caden?
I was gonna get back into the UFC event tonight
Oh yeah.
or this morning. So, did you watch the MVP fight?
Nah, I didn't. I
Okay,
just saw
so
the finishes and highlights.
yeah, what did you think about that, bro?
Well, it went to a decision, which obviously isn't like bad, but like you were telling me before this podcast started, MVP, according to you, was being more inactive. But I did see him pull out some pretty unique shit. Like he did like a spinning heel kick I saw, and then he pulled out a bunch of up kicks, which is like, you're
Yeah.
like hard and like you're kicking up from the ground, you know?
Oh yeah, at the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that. That was like the biggest thing they did that whole fight. But
Oh,
I
that was
probably
like the
shouldn't have
biggest
spoke.
highlight.
Yeah, that was like the last couple seconds of the fight, I think.
So it's like, still that creative striking you expect to see from him. But
Yeah, it's just like compared to how he was 10 years ago, obviously there's gonna be a difference because he's pushing 40.
right.
So he's gonna like I've noticed he's getting kind of like bigger too, but I think he's also in a higher weight class than he's used to as well. I think he moved up weight for this fight, which is cool, I guess. I think he's a middleweight now or
He's
welterweight.
40 years old fighting in the UFC.
Yeah, that's not very rare though. That's not rare.
That's not rare.
Most people join the
John
UFC in their
Paul,
mid-30s.
Israel
That's
Adesanya.
fucking
Well, Izzy's
crazy,
past
dude.
but like the most people's prime is from like 35 to 38.
Really?
Not most people.
Yeah,
That's like a higher end.
that's about average, I'd say. Because most people join UFC in their 30s.
For me, I
Yeah.
would think like when you're in their 30s, because it's different of playing like a sport on a higher level, kind of. Because like LeBron, he's been playing forever. It's different. Like you're actually fucking like the older you get. I don't know. I just feel like you're more prone to injury with like those type of fighting things. I feel like that can really fuck them up when they get older.
And
Yeah, that's why most people don't end up in the UFC. That's why it's always the best of the best thriving in UFC because it's like
Mm-hmm.
everybody's good in these like low down things, like Bellator. It's not low down, but it's still
Yeah,
not as
UFC's just
competitive as
like
UFC.
really.
And then like yeah, UFC is like, oh, I'm gonna come here and prove myself. So it's like most people will fight and like I'm gonna make Israel Adesanya the best example because he's what 37 right now, Xavier. 30, no, he's
Yeah.
35. So he was in kickboxing for most of his life, and he joined UFC when he was 28 because that was he joined UFC in 2018. So he joined when he was
At
like
that point, he was already
probably in his
accomplished.
prime. Yeah, so it's like most of the time they'll join UFC when they're already accomplished somewhere else and done everything they need to do somewhere else, so they're gonna go somewhere else to prove that they're the best.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh,
But then you got people like John Jones who's literally like LeBron, where because like LeBron came out of high
yeah.
school, John Jones came out of like he was in college, so he's the youngest champion in UFC history. I think he was like what 20, Xavier.
Yeah, he MVP
Um,
of wife beaten too.
he is,
Chill, bro.
and
Hey, not too much on that.
co-champion.
Not too much on that.
Oh, not too much. Caden's the
He's like
number
he's
one.
like he's like LeBron, bro. They definitely both did steroids back in their younger days.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
I think
But
okay. What's your thoughts on steroids in high level athlete? Like, should it be allowed or no?
I mean, like it's like with general like I think Mike Tyson said this, but like in other like sports, a lot of people do it all the time. But specifically in combat sports, and I guess like most contact sports, it's like you're physically hurting another person and putting their
Mm-hmm.
life at risk. So like to like put it to another extreme where it doesn't really need to go, and it's like it's especially it's really a prevalent issue in jujitsu, which is something I train personally.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily at like the level I'm at, obviously, but at the highest level, guys like Gordon Ryan and that one guy, they get like called out for
that one
using
guy.
heads. They get called out for using PEDs all the time, and like they're like, so what? But it's like you're competing and like harming other people. You know,
Yeah, I
it's like
think
if you're
in.
like a runner or um like a swimmer, like
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of fucky, but you're not like
Yeah, I think in
hurting
like
anyone.
the sports where you're fighting each other, I really don't. I think yeah, it should be banned. But like, I'm saying like in NFL and like stuff like that. I mean, if these athletes want to take the performance enhancing drugs, I say let them. You know, just let the high levels.
Yeah, I mean it's
I
pretty
say
well.
like
Like I'm pretty sure
I.
some of them are illegal, and it's
Mhm.
like it's bad for your health too. But
Well, yeah, but I mean, fuck it. That's what I'm saying. You know how cool the NFL would be if they're all taking steroids and shit, and they're all just fucking crazy superhumans.
I don't know too
It'd be
much
more
about the
entertaining.
NFL.
I mean, either. That's just an example. You know what I'm saying? Like, if all these motherfuckers in the NBA are just crazy on steroids, dude, that would be such a
Oh, those
fun
are
game to
black.
watch.
Hold on. Hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
You want to have a quick little guess through?
Can you repeat that
Huh?
for me?
You guys want to add one more guest, like a little bit in real quick? Because Diego wants to join up. He just messaged me saying he want to join because I told
Diego.
him we were doing this.
Diego
Uh,
Contreras.
yeah, Carlos's brother.
Yeah, we
Enough
can
of
get
that.
him in real quick if you want to. We gotta
Hold up.
keep
You got
talking
to
though
get
while we get
Discord.
it.
That's
All
all
right,
good.
just you can send him the invite and everything. You know how, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. All
Um,
right. Oh,
I was
you
gonna add
had
on
another
to
talk about the
the
fight?
I was gonna add on to the PED thing real quick. Then we can
Oh yeah,
go
yeah,
back
yeah,
into
yeah.
that because we didn't get to the other fight. So my sense on the PED thing is it's such a blurred line when it comes to like USADA because they'll have some stuff that's like not banned and they'll have stuff that is banned, but they do
Mm-hmm.
the same thing. And then it's like I think you should be able to do like PEDs during training because they can help you heal and like I almost said regenerate. I'm a fucking dork.
Recovery time.
Like yeah,
Recovery.
recovery. That's what I meant. Recovery. They come with recovery and stuff like that. That way you are ready for the fight. Like ones that don't necessarily enhance your performance, but they can help
Mm-hmm.
you like recover faster. I think those ones are fine. But ones where you're like, I don't know what PEDs do. Xavier, do they like make you see like slow motion and stuff, like how they make it seem in video games?
It's not superpower.
No, it's
It's
just
just like
you're gonna be growing muscle faster. You're gonna be like getting less sore. You're gonna be more energy, maybe stuff like that.
Yeah. I just don't understand how it works because it's like they seem like they get like ultra instinct or some shit.
I don't know. It'd be pretty crazy to have a sports. Maybe not like in the normal sports league like NFL. You know, that's for the motherfuckers that want to try hard, go to that good college, grind and shit. But like, you know, like unethical sports, dude, that'd be crazy. Like just all these motherfuckers steroided the hell out. They got is it called skid marks? Like when they put needles in their arms or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. It's not skid marks.
Needle
I
scar.
don't know what it's called.
Yeah, whatever
needle
it's called. You know, they just got needle scars all over their arm because they just taken hella steroids. Dude, that'd be the great. Like, I would actually watch because I'm not big into like watching sports. I'd watch that so much, dude, because these motherfuckers get roid rage mid match. Oh my god, it'd be sick.
Bro, Xavier, imagine Giannis on steroids.
All right.
Shit would be cooked, bro.
Greek roid rager.
Yeah, but back to the event today. So I know you watched the parts of the Israel Adesanya fight.
Yeah.
But I think he should retire. What about you, bro?
Washed.
Washed? You wanna go deeper on that?
Nah.
Nah, I will then. Bro, James, this man was a champion like 3 years ago, right?
Uh-huh.
Then he lost to. Did he lose to Sean Strickland to lose the belt? Xavier?
Well, I mean, he lost the belt to Izzy, and then, if I remember correctly, he got it back, and then he did lose it to Sean Strickland on some Rocky timing.
Yeah, bro. But my bad, I was reading something. Uh, yeah, he's really good, right? It's just I think he's old. He's 35,
Yeah.
and he's done everything he needs to do. He has one of the best legacies in UFC history. I think he's the only person in the UFC to beat Alex Pereira.
Mhm.
He has a crazy resume. He's beat some of the goats too. So I think he just doesn't care as much, and he's old. But
Not just
watching
UFC,
him,
but his kickboxing record is like honestly insane. Like the amount of champions he's beat.
yeah, I don't know as much about kickboxing, but I just know his UFC career is one of the best ones, and he wasn't in the UFC for very long.
So I know Conor McGregor is more popular just because he's a big shit talker, and also I might be way behind. Conor McGregor might not be popular anymore, but what was the fight that he like cut a bunch of weight? Like he was skinny as hell compared to how he normally is. Do you know what fight that was?
He did that. He does that for most of his fights. It's just there's a one picture where it's really popular because he does it for a lot of fights. He like water cuts. You were in wrestling, you know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would do that. So he would like shrink down to what's the weight for featherweight, Xavier?
Isn't that 155?
I think it's like 145. I think.
I'll look.
I think featherweight's one. Yeah, look it up. But I know he would fight like really skinny, and he would like he would do weigh in at like probably like 145, and then the night of the fight he would like bulk back up to like 185 because he fought. He's fighting at middleweight.
It's 36 to 45.
So yeah, so he's fighting like 136, 145 range, and he's bulking up to like 185 before a fight.
Dude, I don't know what fight it was I watched. I think it was pretty old, but he did not look okay. He looked sick. He was so skinny. Because you can tell that like when a person shouldn't be that skinny. I don't know. He was fighting. I'm pretty sure he lost that fight too. He might have won it actually. I don't know. But it was. I don't know.
Well, cutting like that can put you at high risk for injuries, right, Xavier? Because it's you did all that, and then it's like you just bulk back up.
Then you're fucked because your stamina's fucked. Your like body weight's not up like should be, and the other guy is. So
and your brain's not functioning at max capacity either.
Yeah, with low hydration.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Conor in his whole career though. He's never had really good stamina, and I think it's partially because of that. He was bulking up to 185 in a couple nights.
And the cocaine.
And cocaine.
So, you got Diego. When is
he said he was joking. He said he was joking.
Hello, we can move on to the next topic if y'all want to. But let me put y'all on real quick.
Okay.
If you want to watch some like high level kickboxing, golden age kickboxing, watch the K1 Grand Prix tournament from 1998. That is some of the most high level kickboxing of all time.
You're gonna have to send me that because I ain't searching it up right now. I'm
gonna be. I just typed it in on YouTube. I ain't gonna lie.
All
right. Well,
is it this 2-hour long video?
Like, save it somewhere.
Is it the 2-hour long video, bro?
I mean, you don't gotta watch the whole damn thing, but probably.
I'm not watching all that.
All right.
It's a tournament, buddy.
Since you the feature and the guest, I kind of wanted to talk about what you're into. So biology a little bit. What do you CRISPR, genetic editing? Can you tell us a little bit about what that is and kind of how you think that's gonna help us in the future, I guess, if you know anything about it?
Well, CRISPR-Cas9 itself is just it's just a tool that basically makes gene editing a lot cheaper and more efficient than it was before. It was discovered in like I don't remember the year. I remember who Jennifer Doudna. Sorry, hold on. Had to burp. She discovered it not too long ago. It was a very recent discovery. I think it was the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Coincidentally, I think also the same year they made the first synthetic organism. But anyway,
CRISPR
CRISPR
was
helps
invented in
make it more
2009.
efficient. Huh?
CRISPR was invented in 2009.
Yeah, I was gonna say no
But
way
yeah,
CRISPR
it was
came out before 9/11. That's all I'm saying.
it was discovered in bacteria. It's basically like the bacteria's version of an immune system, but we can reverse engineer it to basically make gene editing technology a lot cheaper and a lot more accurate and a lot faster. But by proxy of that, basically, opens up a lot more possibilities these days. And of course, there's a lot of talk about like GMO plants or like GMO crops and farm animals, livestock, GMO livestock as well, and then like possibly like designer babies, engineering people and like making us live longer, eliminating disease and mortality even. Uh like
Dude, that's crazy to think.
just engineering the world around us, biomanufacturing, bioenergy, biofuels. It opens up a lot of doors.
Dude, that's crazy to think about. There's like probably you think in a couple years, motherfucker, like rich motherfuckers are gonna be able to like edit their baby to just be good looking. Like obviously not like as the baby look good at it when it comes out, but like when they grow up, they're just gonna be a good looking person.
Yeah, bro.
Dude, that's like
Maybe not in a couple years, but definitely like I mean, there's like ethical concerns behind that,
yeah.
obviously, and there's like actually, Ken, we were learning about it in biomed class. There's a difference between gene therapies and just gene editing, and basically there's a large ethical argument that gene therapies are ethical, and basically what that is like eliminating genetic disease in its entirety, like diabetes,
Cancer in
autism,
some
Down
form.
syndrome, forms of cancer, um, and like using genetic therapies to help with that.
Well, I think like the ethical thing. Like yeah, it might set it back a little bit, but I don't think that's really gonna change anything because like people like Kim K, like if Kim K, like the equivalent of Kim K in the future is definitely gonna do that shit, dude. She released a sex tape to become popular. I don't think it's like I don't know. I think it's kind of crazy that people might actually be doing that in the future. That's kind of scary. Okay, this is a question. This is controversial. So if you don't want to comment on it, don't comment on it. But since like at least from what I understand from genes, if you have actually no, I'm not even gonna say that. Never mind. I don't know.
I want to hear this.
Okay, so first I have to ask a question, and if it is right. So let's say you have Down syndrome, right? If you is your baby have a higher chance of having Down syndrome?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. Do you think people with Down syndrome should be having babies? Now, I'm saying this just because you are willingly putting this baby at risk of having a worse life. Now, I'm not saying people with Down syndrome have they're not bad people, but you are giving that baby a worse life, if that makes sense.
well, I
I don't
mean,
know.
yeah, and it's like it's a very complicated question, and there isn't like an objectively correct answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like people can definitely use technology to like reduce the risk, and of course, making care for those people easier. And like you said, like we definitely shouldn't condemn those people. They did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
They're children of God. Of course, they deserve all the love and respect that we do. But like there is a point to be made that like why would you bring someone into this world basically unconsensually,
Knowing that they're gonna
and
suffer, like maybe
yeah,
not suffer. Like I'm not saying every person with that, but you know what I mean. They're going to
yeah,
objectively have
right,
a worse life.
right, and it's like that's that's a large ethical question, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like even like leading like ethical researchers and philosophers don't necessarily have an objective answer for it. So like
Mm-hmm.
not much that we can say.
Yeah.
Can I put you on some game real quick, James?
Put me on some game.
All right, so do you know what a Punnett square is? I'm gonna get
Punnett square.
scientific with you real quick.
I do not know what a Punnett square is. By the way, I'm not a
So,
very scientific person, so I might sound like an
oh,
idiot here.
I
Just saying.
got you, bro. This is gonna make me sound like a fucking genius. All right, so Punnett square is basically like how genetics work. All right, so it's like you have a square, you have two parents. So one parent might have Down syndrome, the other one might have Down syndrome. One might not have it. One might have it. One might have it, but it's recessive, so they carry the gene, but they don't have it. And Punnett
Okay.
square basically is like it's kind of like math, I guess, where it's like if one parent has it and one has it like recessive or basically it's recessive, so they carry the gene, but they don't have it. It's like you have four boxes, so it's based on like math based on four kids. So it's like one has like a 75% chance, one has a 50% chance, something like that. Right, Xavier? That's how it works.
Hold on, let me look at something.
So basically, the whole like a parent with Down syndrome, it all just like I feel like they should be allowed to because it's like it all just ties into that where it's like if the person doesn't have it, that child has like a 50-50 chance for the most part to not
See,
have it.
I
And most
got
of the
what
time
you
less.
I kind of got what you were picking up, but you explained it kind of not very great. But I know
I'm
what
not
you
good
were
at
talking
explaining
about. I
stuff.
know what you were talking like I know you knew what you're talking about, but
Okay.
you're talking about like the recessive dominant gene and how it passes down,
Yeah,
right?
that's what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Kenny,
I learned about that in biology. Well, I didn't really
Kenny,
pay
Kenny, Kenny.
attention, but
That would sound like a genius.
But well, I mean, frankly, Kenny, not a Rainier parade or anything, but like, there's like
But
that's
if I'm
Mendelian
correct.
genetics, and then there's like non-Mendelian genetics, which has like a million more factors. But like, anyway, I just
Don't make me
looked
do
it
you
up.
like how Izzy got done
Apparently,
today, bro.
what?
Don't make me do you how like Izzy got done today, bro.
I shook your hand and your every single finger cracked, dude. You ain't doing that.
Come on, bro. Nah, but anyway, I looked it up. Apparently, the mutation that causes Down syndrome is called trisomy 21, which is basically the 21st chromosome. Have three of them, and you're not supposed to. Supposed to only have two. Um, and that's what fucks it up. And apparently, it's not necessarily hereditary, although it can be in less than 1% of cases. So Down syndrome specifically, apparently, is not. But
Okay.
there is a case to be made for a lot of other issues, though.
Mm-hmm.
And like even other like mental handicaps and like obviously other
Yeah.
physical just like diseases.
So you saying what I said wasn't wrong? I was just using it in the wrong situation.
Yeah, and
Dang.
technically it's an oversimplification of the process, but like
You almost there,
I let
dog.
Miss I let Miss Jordan
Listen,
down, bro.
You threw the dart and at least it hit the board.
yeah, it hit the
I
board
got
case.
I got the first bullseye, not the good bullseye.
Exactly. Precise, not accurate.
There we go.
I'm pissed now because I thought I was about to sound like a genius.
So it's okay.
Okay, so I guess a little bit. So with biology, do you think there would be? I guess you know if you think far enough into the future, eventually stuff will happen. But not complete immortality, but like something near it almost. Because you know, I don't know if that was us that talked about it or no. I think it was Draven or us that we talked about the guy that pretty much spends his whole life.
We talked about it.
Okay, that was us. So, do you think maybe in 20 years from now, there's going to be kind of not like a crazy jump up where you're going to be living like an extra 100 years, but a pretty significant jump up with biology where people are going to be living longer?
I mean, outside of like the biological factors, just generally like the what's the word? Standard of
I'll be right
living
back.
improving over
Mhm.
time worldwide. That's obviously going to improve people's lifespans,
Yeah.
like overall, generally. But then, like, the biological factors of like people enhancing lifespans, artificially, I guess. Yeah, that's definitely possible. Like, a lot of people are researching into it. The funding's there from a lot of different places. Obviously, a lot of large name companies.
Mhm.
Sorry. And like you said, obviously like not large leaps at a time.
Mhm.
Um, unless there are. I mean, you never really know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that will probably happen in the future. And like, I don't know if we want to go over that discussion we had before about like the
Yeah.
implications of immortality, but
We might get into it a little bit later, maybe when we start talking about space. But I wanted to ask about so you know like how viruses kind of evolve in real time and like building immunity to different medicines and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
cockroaches kind of do that too with like against pesticides. I could be wrong. Um, why? What is the reason that takes us so long from kind of? Well, actually, no. We get immunities to sicknesses pretty fast, but like, why don't we evolve faster against like things like coldness or heat? Like, I feel
Well,
like.
right, I understand the question, but
Mhm,
basically, it's just simply because of how long a human generation is. Like a virus or a bacteria can
mhm,
reach sexual maturity, I guess, or asexual maturity in less than a day, less than like in 24 hours. You can take a single bacteria, you come back 24 hours later, there's going to be like 10,000
mhm,
because like, and that's 10,000 generations of mutations occurring. And like, of course, humans reach sexual maturity at 18, right? So that's 18 years of things that wait for one mutation to happen. And that's a
mhm.
day where thousands of generations of mutation happen, right? So like scientists can put like a common lab experiment is to like when you're editing a gene, you also insert an antibiotic resistant so that
Mhm.
only the ones with the gene you edited survive. And like within like a day, like I said, like the whole culture is now filled with just the antibiotic resistant one.
Oh, okay.
So
So it's like survival of the fittest almost. Like the ones that survive are gonna pass down their genes, so then the ones kind of
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's just why because they reproduce faster. So the ones okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, dude, that's
But
pretty badass.
um just sort of add on to like the very first part you said, like something that's a very real and large issue these days that I feel like definitely not a lot of people talk about is superbugs, which is just like viruses and bacteria getting like sorry shit massive amounts of antibiotic or antibiotic resistances. So basically like the medicines we use don't work on them anymore
Mm-hmm.
because we use them too much. And that's a real issue that I think killed like 50 million people last year. I remember seeing the statistic, like
Mm.
because like back in the medieval ages, it was basically a death sentence to get a cut
Yeah.
and like get it infected, right? These
Mm-hmm.
days, like ostensibly, it's not too much of a problem, but we might end up actually going back to that time, like not to fearmonger, because we have solutions. Like people are working on solutions. Doctors are more precautious with how they send out certain antibiotics and
Mm-hmm.
certain medications because of that. And there are solutions like bacterial phages being engineered to target bacterial infections instead of using antibiotics,
Yeah. So
which is
pretty
a
much
whole different thing.
what I'm picking up is you say don't vaccinate your kids; it'll make them weak.
No,
That's pretty
no. Of
much
course,
what I heard. I don't know.
people would hear that, but no, definitely like
Yeah. No.
vaccinate children.
I
Yeah, but
get what you
like
mean. Yeah.
people would definitely like say that if they're already because like there's like confirmation bias. If you're already for an idea, you'll like what's the word? If you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Mm, that's true. That's true. I get that. Not really. I don't get that, but
Oh, okay.
is
I wish
Caden
I
still?
could
Is
join on
Caden
this.
back?
Yeah, yeah, my bad.
Okay. Okay.
Hayden,
I
what's
wish I
going
could
on,
join.
bro? You good?
Oh, yeah, I had to go do something real quick.
Oh,
I wish I could join this conversation, but I don't. I'm in Biomed, but I don't know about this stuff to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really fucking know anything about it, but it's interesting to me. So that's kind of why I want to learn a little bit about it. So I guess AI. I know, because we had this for most people. I'm pretty sure most people know. We completely recorded the last episode and I fucked it up and all the audio is messed up. So we had a lot of these conversations before. But I know neither one of you are big into AI, but do you think AI is kind of like a fad? And I said fad, FAD. Um, like it's gonna be a temporary big thing and it's just kind of die off and not be as big of a thing, or do you think it's gonna forever be a daily part of life?
okay.
Oh, yeah, I think it'll be a daily part of life. My bad, I thought you were asking Xavier.
So,
Um, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask you, kind of like the Meta Ray Bans. Like, you think eventually we're all gonna be having those AI glasses and shit? We're gonna just be like that, or do you think it's just gonna be, AI is just kind of gonna be making everything more efficient, and that's kind of how it's gonna be?
I think there will be a time where we will all have them, but I hope people are smart enough not to make it like kind of like how people's phones are, where you need it to be able to function, basically. Where it's like it's just like a thing you can just sit down and have to worry
Yeah.
about.
Well, a big argument
But
I hear about those glasses is that they actually connect you more because you're not putting a screen in front of your face. It's kind of like it's overlaid with the thing, but it's still, I don't know. The Meta Ray-Ban glasses are actually, to me, seem pretty cool because it's not like VR, you know, it's just you can take pictures without
Right.
having to pull out your phone and stuff like
Right.
that. But I think the next step forward when you can start seeing holograms and stuff like, I don't know, when you start seeing advertisements as holograms around you, I think that's when it's going to get too far, and I think that will be something that will
Cyberpunk.
be like that in the future. Yeah, cyberpunk shit. I don't know.
I think it will be
But
good as long as you keep it in moderation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what I was gonna say was like definitely like shit like that. Like the Meta Ray Bans, I think are just gonna be like a fad. Like they could have certain uses in like some applications, yeah, but I think definitely AI. Like people misunderstand when they like when people say they're gonna like make AI better. They're not talking about like making AI conscious. They're talking about making it better at understanding algorithms
Mm-hmm.
or reducing possibilities down to like narrowing shit down. That's
Yeah.
what AI is like good for. And like just like CRISPR doesn't necessarily make anything new. It makes shit 10 times more efficient. And that's
Mm-hmm.
really what we need. And it's like definitely like that. And like a lot of what we had talked about before, definitely it all boils down to in terms of public perception, it's all about education and people being or not being properly educated on things can really impact how those things work and how they affect culture, basically.
I think, and the education thing, I want to go a little deeper into education, I guess. Do you think it's a problem that our country, because a lot of different countries like India, which India does have a big poor population, but it's also because they have like 1 billion people in the country and not that much land.
I
But
think it's like 2 billion.
yeah, Indian schools push high level like jobs like engineering, software development, and everything. And I would say our education system, unless you send your kid to a private school, doesn't really do that. Do you think that's going to have some bad effects in the future um, generations? Or, and I think personally they're already seeing them now. But do you think that's going to be a big problem that we're not educating our kids properly?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of like we need a little perspective on it. Like, yeah, they do that, but then like for like their highest education, they still come to like Yale, Harvard, Ivy League schools, right? And like people like also America also has a huge population and it's the entertainment capital of the world. So it's like the world as a whole sees America like it just sees everything. Like it sees the dumb people, it sees the smart people, but the dumb people get a lot of attention because they're funny to laugh at, like on the internet. And like freedom of speech, obviously, we have the freedom to say whatever the fuck. And people sometimes don't even understand that in their own country. They don't realize that like the reason you don't see shit from like China, obviously, like the CCP is just gonna fucking kill you if you say something stupid, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Would they really be doing that? I thought China was chilling. I thought.
Nah,
no,
China be doing
China,
crazy shit too. They're more secretive about it.
yeah. But like, get it straight though. Like, Chinese people, Chinese culture is great. It's
Mm-hmm.
really cool. But the Chinese government, the CCP, is shit. It's terrible.
Dude, I've been saying this all
Okay,
along.
I didn't know that much about. I didn't know that much about the Chinese government. I thought they were just like business people,
Nah,
and they were fucking up like
Um,
businesses.
their government's crazy, dude.
Authoritarian
Oh yeah.
basically. Like it pretends to be a democracy, but
Well,
like
one thing,
So
there
it's kind of
was
like how North Korea is to their people. They make it seem
Mhm.
like a democracy, but it's really
yeah,
authoritarian.
Well, the one lady that escaped North Korea, not the one, there was multiple, but I don't know her name, but she was on Joe
You know,
Rogan.
you
yeah,
talking about the
that
one on Joe Rogan? Yeah.
Yeah, and she has big boobs, right? It's important. Right? It's important, right? And then so, she talked about one of her first things, like experiences in America that made her happy, was that she got made fun of for having big boobs, and then she said, like, in my country, that wouldn't be able to be like that wouldn't be a thing because you're not able to like have the freedom to criticize and stuff like that. So like she said, it was like amazing, like even though it was made like kind of sexualizing her. She said it was amazing that someone could go up to her and say something like that to her without being like punished. Which, you know,
I got a question for you, James. You know who Dennis Rodman is, right?
Dennis Rodman, no.
Oh, so he's like a really big basketball player from the '90s. He was like Michael Jordan's second best teammate. He's like real like best friends with Kim Jong Un, bro. I was gonna ask
Oh,
you
I know
if
what you're
you
Oh, I
knew
talking
anything
remember
about.
about
hearing
Yeah.
that.
about that.
So what do you guys think about that? Because Dennis Rodman said the government has his phones tapped and stuff because of that reason, because they like have phone calls and stuff.
Oh yeah,
So I
they
was gonna ask you
definitely
guys what you think about stuff like that.
do. I feel like
Well, real quick though, I was just gonna like finish what I was saying before. Like I was saying like we talked about that after, but I was just saying like like we see like the dumb shit Americans do, but also America is still the number one leading like most innovative, like most lucrative, most
Mhm.
productive country on earth. And like people like don't understand that. I guess they don't understand that America's still like top dog. It has a lot of problems, especially in the government. There's a shit ton of problems in our government, but like we still have the capability to be on top, and in a lot of sectors we are.
that's true.
But
I,
what? So you're asking about like government surveillance, Caden?
No, I was asking you guys like what you guys think with like people being like real close friends with like possible enemies of the country.
well,
Mhm.
you gotta think Dennis Robin or Robbins. You know, he's not. I think it's an ethical thing for him, honestly. If because it's well known that Kim Jong Un is doing all these evil things, but it's not like he's plotting with him like to do evil things, right? They're probably Kim Jong Un is just a big basketball fan, so I think it's
Yeah.
not like it's not like they're plotting anything. I don't think I don't think he really has that much inside information about North Korea, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I do think it is kind of an ethical thing to be kind of buddy buddy with a dictator that starves their people. You know?
I think the
Right.
funniest part about the whole thing is it was in the '90s. Kim Jong Un, or it wasn't '90s. It was like probably 2000s when Kim Jong Un got to power.
Yeah.
But he wanted to meet the Bulls team, and Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, like that whole team was like, nah. And so it was just Dennis Rodman alone going to North Korea by himself.
I, I wouldn't want to meet that
So it's like
motherfucker.
he wanted to meet like the whole Bulls team because he's such a big like '90s basketball. And they're like, nah, you Dennis. And he's like, all right.
You
And
watched
then
the
now they're
interview
Nah,
like really
before
good friends.
the movie?
Yeah, bro. Xavier put me on that movie.
That movie's
bro, the
funny as
interview is
fuck.
one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's a funny
Yeah,
a funny ass movie.
They hate us
yeah, that
because
shit's
they
hilarious.
ain't us.
They hate us because they hate us.
I like
No, but like,
the movie I seen.
dude, that's like, what's the equivalent? Okay, 2001. That's like someone being buddy buddies with Osama bin Laden right after 9/11, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty crazy shit. I don't know, but I don't think
Yeah.
like anything would come out of it. Like, well, Osama bin Laden, different story, but like, cause we can't assassinate Kim Jong Un. That would like be way too dangerous for us to do.
I think the funniest part about the whole situation to me is I like to think that maybe Dennis Trump is the only reason we're not at war with North Korea. I think that's just a funny
He'd be
idea.
like, Kim, chill, chill.
Yeah, it's like Kim's telling him he's about to fuck us up. He's like, nah, I live here, bro, chill.
He's
Well,
like, let me get to the season.
the
Yeah,
scary thing is if Kim Jong Un, because the reason why people talk about North Korea so much with having nukes, because like the Chinese people and like Russians, they're not really gonna nuke us just because they might seem crazy, but they're more level headed. Kim Jong Un's actually pretty fucking crazy. He might be like an overall decently smart guy, probably, but like if he felt like he was gonna lose power, what's stopping him from sending nukes? Because everyone in that country follows his word, you know. China,
Right.
Xi Jinping, doesn't really have the authority to just call a nuke immediately. There is barriers. Now, yes, he could probably easily get through those barriers, but there's barriers to that. Kim Jong Un has absolute power. Like, if he wanted to send nukes, he could. That's why people talk about North Korea so much because, I mean, yeah, we would wipe them off the map, but I mean, they could kill millions of people. I don't know. It's pretty scary stuff, and we can't really do much about it either because it's not like we can invade them. It's not like we just kind of have to starve them out. That's what we've been doing. Just don't let people trade with them and just make them poor.
I have a question, James, because I know you're like pretty well versed in like the
Wait,
government and
wait, wait,
stuff.
wait, 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 wait,
Oh,
wait. My bad.
my bad.
But nah, because I've heard at least that's kind of the idea that
Yeah.
people want because like specifically, it's like I've heard the CCP is obviously like pretty close with the and what do they call People's Republic of North Korea.
Something People's Republic of North Korea. Just say
Yeah.
North Korea. Don't worry about
Anyway,
it.
yeah, North Korea. Anyway, they're close. That's basically their
Yeah.
only like ally, right? So it's like,
Yeah, them and Russia.
Wait, China's?
yeah, like
China and
China.
Russia.
Yeah, China specifically wants everyone to cut ties with North Korea so that they sort of have to go through China because everyone like fears North Korea, right? So they feel like it's sort of a power move to like make everyone come to China's side because they say like, well, we got North Korea on our side, and they're like, in reality, North Korea probably isn't going to do anything, but the threat is there, like you were saying, obviously. So it's like it's overall like maybe not the best idea for us to cut ties because that's really what they want at the end of the day.
Well, okay. So, the reason why we're cutting ties, it is to actually starve them out. I think we put sanctions on them during the '60s, and you can see like since the '60s, their economy has been ruined. Their everything about them has been ruined. They've been poor. That's kind of because sanctions. When you put a sanction on a country, right? It's not destroying or crippling the country immediately. It slowly starves them out because what it does is it stops their economy from growing, and when the economy stops growing, that's when it starts collapsing. So the idea is to slowly starve out the country until they're to the point to where they have to work with you or have to start listening to you. But that system would have worked if China and Russia didn't just kind of support North Korea and keep them going. But North Korea is still struggling. As you can see, they're sending troops to go die on the front lines for some food and oil, you know.
I mean, America doesn't do like. Anyway, Kaden, what were you saying?
So I was gonna ask you because you're like real big on the government, James.
A little
So
bit.
I seen a video last year where I think the president of China, right? He's the president.
Yeah, Xi Jinping.
He was in America, and like Biden was all like introducing him and stuff. So were they like allies with us before or something?
So we need China, and China needs us. So we're pretty much roommates that hate each other, but we have to get along, if that makes any sense. We're technically allies, but we both disagree on everything, but we have to stay together just to keep each other alive, if that makes sense. So like, we still are technically allies with China right now, I would say, but we know China's our main. We know China is our main threat, and China hates us, and we kind of hate China, but we have to have each other basically, because neither one can survive without the other. Our economy is dependent on them. Their economy is dependent on us. It's kind of just a mutual. That's kind of what keeps. That's kind of the idea of globalism. Like, if everyone is connected to where if someone breaks off, they're in financial struggle, and it kind of keeps us at peace. That's kind of the idea.
All right. That makes sense.
That's kind of why China wants Taiwan almost, because if they had Taiwan, they could make their own chips and they don't need us as much.
Okay.
Also,
microchips.
Yeah, microchips, not real chips.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
So, what is your thoughts on the Ukraine war stuff?
So recent stuff, I kind of been slowing down on that. I haven't really been looking at it, but my initial opinion is Russia is the aggressor. Ukraine is protecting themselves. Now, you can argue on whether we should be sending them money or not. I believe we should be, because it's pretty dependent on if they win this war or not, whatever will happen. But it's not like they're gonna push Russia back. Like, realistically, Ukraine isn't winning the war by taking land back and defeating the Russians. That's not happening. It's just
that's never happened.
It literally is impossible, basically. But and a big thing is, if we would have just let them use the long-range missiles from the start, a lot of things would have been different. And then we gave it to them like recently, and I mean, it's just too late. I mean, it's pretty much just Ukraine is holding back as best as they can, but they're still slowly getting pushed back. That's just what it is. But I think Ukraine, I think we should support Ukraine, but that's kind of it depends if you believe in isolationism or whatever, where we should just stick to ourselves and focus on ourselves only, or if we should be kind of the beacon of hope and help other countries.
Okay. So you're never mind. I was about to say something dumb.
Okay, let's talk about a little bit about space. Okay, so I think Mars is supposed to be 2026, right, or 27? Or is that
Supposedly,
way far? Is that way farther out for Mars?
hypothetically, it could be around
Okay.
there.
What do you? Okay, so obviously, you're not a NASA scientist, so but what do you think we will get from Mars
Um,
as
obviously,
of
like
first
colonization.
landing?
At the first landing, obviously we'll get a lot of scientific data. We'll get more abstractly, we'll obviously get like a lot of inspiration and hope
Mhm.
as a species. But I guess like concretely, we'll get a lot of data from that on like how it works mechanically and like humans being on the surface as opposed to like the Perseverance rover. Obviously, it's different.
Mhm.
And just like little things that like we might not have known unless we were physically there. Like obviously we know a lot, but we can't
Mhm.
know like everything about how it works unless we're physically there. Like we can simulate the environment all we want, but until we have feet on the ground, we're not gonna know every single problem until we're
Mhm.
there.
So,
Um,
do you think when we go, is it going to be kind of like the moon landing? Well, actually, I'm not 100% sure if we land on the moon and then went. Like, do you think we're going to land there and then pretty much just set it back for another long time till we actually start doing more stuff in space? Or do you think it's going to be like kind of a chain reaction? Like, we get to Mars and then we're like, fuck it, let's start mining asteroids. Let's start actually getting resources from space. Like, do you think it's going to kick off the new kind of, not space race necessarily, but the
space age.
yeah, space age. Do you think it's going to kick it off, or do you think it's going to still be a way ahead?
Um, well, of course, the reason the Apollo missions were like that were political reasons.
Uh huh.
Obviously, just our arms race with like Russia, but definitely NASA. Like I've been following NASA for a while, and it's like the narrative they're pushing is definitely like with the Artemis program. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that they're like Artemis 2. They're going to orbit the moon, make sure we can do that, and then Artemis 3, they're actually going to land and set up the beginnings for a lunar colony. And it's like all those sort of articles that have been officially published, NASA's like most of their narrative is that we're going back and we're going there to stay and go further. And like a large part of like future Artemis missions that like have been confirmed but not funded yet, a large part of it is setting up lunar colonies. And of course, a lunar colony is the best, most secure way to be able to go to Mars
Mm-hmm.
because we'd have the experience of setting up that colony. And obviously, it's cheaper to go off of the moon surface because of the lower gravity. Um, what was I saying? Shit.
Stuff about the Artemis mission.
Oh yeah, and it's like so like definitely if we go all the way to Mars, we're not just gonna like have it as like a crown or a trophy or an achievement to put on the wall and then go back home. We're not just gonna
Mm-hmm.
set our shit there and leave. We're definitely, I think, at least very hopefully, there's a small chance we could still do that. I'd be severely disappointed, but like definitely it's more probable, especially if the financial opportunity is there, that we'll go there and we'll go there pseudo permanently. And of course, Mars is a whole different endeavor because that's an entire another planet, not necessarily a moon. That's a
Yeah.
lot closer to Earth, obviously. Um, but if we go all the way out there, then the chances of us going even further are higher.
Yeah. I really hope in our lifetime we get to see a lot of cool stuff with space, because space has always been kind of the, I don't know, it's just kind of a big hope, a beacon of hope, just like
Yeah, yeah,
going out. But I think not enough people actually are interested in space anymore.
yeah,
I, I feel like not a lot of people see the importance of it. I think it's because there's so much stress back home, almost like climate change and stuff like that, that people don't really see the need for it. They're like, oh, we're already fucked up here. Why are we going other places? Just kind of sad.
right,
But I think also it's
yeah,
because like the pessimist, like how pessimistic the social media is. I mean,
yeah,
it's just, I don't know, if you're on it too much, it's just draining. it's you'll never go on a day unless you're just like scrolling on brain rot and it's just a bunch of funny videos. I guess that's kind of technically happy, but that's, also not good for you. But you're never going on social media and then it's just like, oh, the world's gonna be a great place after seeing it. It's always negative things or nasty. I don't know. It's just social media is it's just a poison. I don't know.
Right, and I mean, there's a lot of psychology behind that, but I mean, it's just like the parts of the internet that get clicks, because there's like, I'm not too big in psychology, but I know there's like some sort of thing about like negativity and tragedy draws more attention.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it makes people think things are more negative, and that's a positive feedback loop where things just get worse and worse, or seemingly like things aren't actually getting worse in the world. Like it's been the way it is since the last million years of human history, and like it's the good shit is still there if like you set yourself up for, like, you look at positive shit, you are conscious of that sort of negativity bias, and like you look for shit that's positive, actually helpful, even productive for you, you know. And it's like I know you like tend to just like stay off of social media a lot, and that obviously helps too. But like what I usually do is I just follow, like on Instagram, I usually just follow like martial arts and science related shit, and then maybe some funny shit or like some shit about games I play.
Yeah, for me, social media, I got Twitter, but I really don't check it like at all. And then Instagram, I'll literally open it maybe twice or 3 times a day, check stories, see if anyone anyone I know posted, check notes, and I'm off. Like I don't watch reels. Okay, every once in a while I'll watch reels. I'm not going to say I don't watch reels. But I don't it's not a normal thing for me. And I don't really scroll on random posts. And then I just watch YouTube about the military. That's about it. I will say I watch too much YouTube, but it's usually about things just kind of what I want to do with my life. So I'd say it's kind of a net positive because I'm gaining information on things I'm trying to do.
Yeah, right.
Like I keep watching YouTube videos on like how to like critique my diet in a way that fits me, because for me dieting is definitely the worst thing for me, dude. I can never eat healthy.
Right.
I don't know why. It's just never been my thing. But I'm trying to get things that work for me, and that's just kind of what I've been watching on YouTube. That and like military shit. Man, what are we recording on, an hour? Hell yeah! Do any of you guys want to throw out some more things? Because I got everything I wanted to talk about.
I got one more thing I want to talk about, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all pretty big gamers here, right?
For the most part.
So I got a question for y'all. What's your favorite video game of all time?
All time.
Ooh.
Okay. All time, like I'll go to it. Okay, so I would say all time, like a game. I'm like, it's not the game I play the most, but it's the game I enjoy the most when it's going right. I'll say DayZ. It's just always been like, it's not even the game I have played the most. It's just kind of the game that I've always go back to. I always know that I'm very knowledgeable on it, and I really like the risk aspect. You could play a character for 4 days, and like you could lose all that progress of 4 days in 10 seconds because you just die in a gunfight and lose everything. And I just like that aspect of like, I mean, dude, it gets you fucking pissed, but it gets that adrenaline pumping when shit goes right.
My bad.
No, that was it. I was just gonna clarify. Like, that's definitely my opinion.
But yeah, I was gonna ask: is that like our favorite or the objective best?
Like, let's just do both, I guess.
All right. Well, I think as far as favorites, I'll give like a top 4 or 5 list, because I can't really say like a favorite, and then I'll give like what I think, and then I'll say like what's the objectively best game, right? So as far as like favorites, I gotta put like Dark Souls, Minecraft, shit. There's this one game y'all don't know. It's called Prey. Frankly, it's gotta go on there. Of course, Kane. Oh yeah, Kane. Of course, Yakuza gotta go on there. And then, frankly, just due to the amount of time I spent on it, Fortnite.
All right.
But then the
So
objectively best game, if we're talking about the GOAT, I gotta give it to Minecraft. Like,
You stole my words. I was gonna say that shit.
all right, bro. But like, just like throughout my entire life, Minecraft has always been like this malleable like thing where I can just put my creativity in it, and I have the skill to actually like do something that I enjoy, and that allows me to express myself with that. Like no matter what it is or what I'm doing or other things in my life, like I can always just like sit down for an hour, fuck around on Minecraft, creative or survival. Actually, creative or survivor for y'all. What is it more often?
Survival. I'm not a creative. Listen, I brain rotted my brain way too much back in my younger days. I can't handle like just sitting down actually creating shit. Like I wish I could. Like my kids, I'm forcing them to play Minecraft creative and they gonna be fucking engineers and I'm gonna be living happy. But me, my brain's too fucked up to be like building shit. So I like survival because I just like mining and getting rich.
Kaden?
I used to be big creative, but ever since I started playing Minecraft with Diego, I've been big on survival.
Right.
Even though we started playing some more today, we took a little bit of a break, but I don't think we're beating the game. I'm gonna be honest.
All right.
We keep getting fucked up by these the trading dudes in the nether.
Oh, she gotta wear gold, bro. But
I was. They still fucked us up.
fucking you over. But I'm definitely more like playing creative. Like ever since I was a jit, because like when I was little, frankly, survival mode was scary. I'm not gonna lie, because I always played on hard mode. It
Yeah,
was
you were a
scary. I ain't gonna lie.
bitch.
All right, bro. But like, creative, like it was just always creative. And then like I dipped my toes in survival. And like these days, I'm usually playing survival if I'm on Minecraft. But then I like earlier today, actually, I was on the game and I was playing Minecraft and I was making like a whole ass like level or some shit. Just another way to like for a creative output. Like now I have other ones these days, like martial arts or like writing, which are things I really enjoy. But like Minecraft's that's just the goat.
So these next two things, I want to sound like an old head, bro, because this ties into both things. So personally, my favorite game of all time is Resident Evil 3, the one on like the PS2 and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I already know people gonna call me old head for that one. Um, and then I have a vivid memory of this is why I never used to play Minecraft Survival, bro. This is back in
All right,
like 2012, so like when I was in like kindergarten.
all right.
Um, fuck you. You're older than me.
Oh shit.
But what's it called? I have a vivid memory. I was on creative, and I was like building my little house. That shit was badass too. But I wish I still had that world. Um, but and a spider jumped up, bro. That shit scared the hell out of me. I screamed, like verbally screamed over the spider. I was like, ah! But like high pitched. I was like 6 years old. I was terrified, bro. I was like, Dad, no. Yeah. I didn't touch survival
Kaden,
once until like 2018.
Kaden,
Yeah.
are you the real life Dale Gribble?
What you mean?
I don't even know who that
Like
is.
look at
You know
Dale
what King of the
Gribble
Hill? Oh,
and look at you, bro.
Listen,
I don't
I
wear hats and
I got
sunglasses, bro.
I got a rat I got arachnophobia, so like I'll still be like okay. I try to suppress it, but like I still have that urge to verbally fucking scream like a chick, dude, if I see a spider. Like I was at work
Bro,
and I saw a black thing in the corner. I thought it was a fucking spider, dude. It I literally
it
jumped.
was just
I was
LeBron.
mid piss too. I literally jumped, dude. I was terrified and I was like, oh, and I was like, I'm almost a grown ass man, dude. I can't be doing this shit. So then I just had to lock in.
James, you know the game Grounded?
Grounded. Oh, I played that game. I played about that game. Isn't
What
it
is
like
that?
in chapters or whatever?
I don't know. I played it beta, like right when it first
Yeah,
like
yeah.
started being coming out, bro. Could not play it more than like 20 minutes because of them giant ass spiders. I was not playing that.
Oh, I'm thinking a different game. I was thinking It Takes Two. Yeah, Grounded. I turned to So I don't have. Well, maybe I don't have arachnophobia then, because arachnophobia is like if you see a spider in a game, you're genuinely terrified. I am only scared of like real spiders. Like if it's in a game, I'm okay.
Oh,
But
I'm chilling with real spiders. I'm a bitch when it comes to
Bro,
video game spiders, though.
I
so
used to
maybe
have mad like scared of spiders. I used to have nightmares about them when I was little. But then I remember specifically why I'm not scared of spiders anymore is because one time I saw like a mother spider. She was like for like 3 days. She was like in the corner of like a room,
I'm
like a
killing
back
that
room
bitch.
in my house. What?
Yeah, she's not living past 2 minutes, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
a better
telling.
person than us.
Listen, I'm telling my mama to kill that bitch, dog.
No, but look, because I just like observed it. Like I was in there every so often. I looked at it, and like she guarded this nest of eggs for a solid 2 weeks. Like some spiders came in and dead ass were trying to like it looked like trying to get at the nest sometimes. And like she dead ass guarded these things with her life for like 2 weeks. And like that really like made me realize like it's just like any other animal on this earth. And it's like
Ain't
I'm
no
just
animal.
dead
That's
ass
a
not
fucking
scared of
angel.
spiders anymore. I thugged it out too hard.
That was the day
When thugging out goes wrong.
became connected with nature and became a vegetarian.
Exactly.
We know Xavier's a vegan.
No, that's a beautiful ass story though. I'm not even gonna lie. But I don't know. Like, I guess that maybe I don't have arachnophobia. I've said I've had arachnophobia forever. I'm just scared of real spiders. Cause like in a game, I can watch a video of spiders. But like, I don't know. I feel even though I know a spider can't kill me unless it's like obviously a Black Widow, I still feel in danger. It could be a
Right.
tiny ass spider. I feel like I'm in danger, which I need to. I think I just literally need to find a spider and just have it crawl on my arm, so then I know I'm not like I'm alright.
I'm sure you could ask a therapist to do that.
Yeah, cause like bees, I was scared of bees until I got stung, and then I was like, yeah, it hurt, but it didn't kill me. So now like, I'm not scared of bees. I don't like wasps. Wasps are assholes, dog. I'll fucking kill every last wasp. But
Fuck 'em.
like bees, I'm alright with bees.
I'll be honest. I'm just scared of bugs.
Did I tell you about the
I
time
love
a fucking
bugs, bro.
no, a wasp came through my window somehow and got like in my bed, in my blanket. I put my blanket on and I felt something crawl on my leg. I like shook my leg and it fucking started stinging me.
Man, I remember this is when we were on Minecraft server.
That was
Cause I remember you were
that was a different
because you were
time. No,
tweaking
that was
out
a
with
different
wasps.
time. I got stung at that time too. But no, the blanket time,
Wasps
dude,
don't
that was
fuck with
fucking
you.
crazy.
Wasps
Yeah, no,
don't fuck with you,
it
bro.
was because there was a wasp nest like right outside my window. But we ended up we ended up murdering that bitch. I'll tell you that right now.
Low-key, what's the craziest dream y'all had? I think I'll go first.
Yo, I can't even say that.
Actually,
Like
nah.
just like
I
like
can't say
nightmare.
that either. What's the craziest dream y'all had?
I was gonna ask you guys a question. Hold on, Xavier. I'm at because it's like tied together, right? You ever have like a nightmare where it's like about bugs or something, and you feel like shit's crawling on you when you like try to go to bed after that?
Yeah.
All right. So this is what my worst dream is. I had a dream when I was like 5 years old, probably, where it was just thousands of spiders crawling on me.
Bro,
And
did we have the same dream?
hold up, bro. And for like weeks after that, I I couldn't sleep because I thought every time I go to bed, I thought I felt shit crawling on my body and shit. I was cooked.
Bro,
It was
strong
that
with
fan. I'm telling you, someone tainted the cart.
can't have one original experience.
But
You want me to
what was yours,
go read
Xavier?
mine? Oh wait, no, yeah, I'm gonna go last on my dream because I still got to piece it together a little bit.
Okay. I got a lot of weird ass dreams. Frankly, maybe not the worst, but like most of my dreams are actually about like being late for the bus. Like it's weird. Like in the dream, I'm almost late for the bus, but then I still make it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like shit, gotta get the bus, about to be late, stressing, and it's like, but that's just most of my dreams. But like my weirdest dream, mm, they pretty out there sometimes. Oh,
I can't talk about that one.
yeah, I can't talk about that one, but a lot of the times, like I have a lot of dreams about like fighting, and I think, Katie, you know, I'm not gonna say the whole name, but you know Jay Clump.
Oh yeah,
I had a dream, like,
bro
cause
said I'm not gonna say the whole name. People definitely know who that is just because you said the
but
first
like
letter.
randoms won't. But anyway, um, I had a dream one time. Like this don't mean nothing. I have no malice towards. But anyway, um, I had a dream one time. Uh, we were like in a underground parking lot, you know, with
Yeah.
like a group of friends. So we got out the car. We were walking like to the exit of it to go wherever the fuck we're going. And then like me and him just start scrapping. Like I remember I like throw an elbow and then maybe like two, and then I hit a takedown, and then I'm hitting him grounded elbows, and then I'm pretty sure I like took the back and from mount and got like a rear naked choke. And then we like got back up like after like you know like those street fight videos, guys like get up and they're all like mad and their clothes are all fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a lot of dreams about fighting, but they're never usually like angry. Just
Let's run it.
like it's usually like grappling, but just like like probably exchanges that I've like had. Because I remember one specifically. I remember it. It was like I remember like hitting a double leg and then getting in side control, hitting Kimura. That's basically my go-to. Um, redact that. I don't need people knowing my secret. But anyway,
Bro,
um,
I'm gonna be honest, Xavier. If you already talked about that move, Jaden like exposed your whole fucking game plan when it comes to grappling. You're just gonna try to put someone in a Kimura.
yeah, but he's a bitch.
That man,
Anyway,
that man cooked you with that one. You did injure him though.
I did put him to sleep multiple times. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Um, but like in my dreams, like I'll hit other shit, but then like I hit that sequence a lot, and it's like it's probably just like however
Muscle
dreams
memory.
work. But yeah, all right. So James, what's your
So
wildest dream?
for me, okay, so I can't really think of wildest, but I'll say like most. So first, the most like say like impactful, and then I guess scariest because it's definitely not the scariest one I had, but it's the only one I can piece up together that's like I remember completely. So I'm gonna go with the scariest one first. And most of the time, all my dreams are lucid. Actually, like most of the time I lucid dream, but I don't really remember them until like I only remember from like 10 minutes after I wake up. But usually most of my dreams are actually crazy as fuck. But the only ones I can remember right now. So one, it's really weird. It was like a really weird situation, but pretty much you know the game Granny, right?
Oh
bro,
no.
Alright.
bro.
It was like that, except like for some reason she was big as fuck and in a wheelchair, but she was like demonic as hell. Like it was crazy. Like demonic as hell. Like the craziest, like scariest shit you could think of. And for
A
some reason
Walmart
it was kind
customer.
of like a game. It was like real life. Like I was like literally like I was fearing death, but
Squid
it
Game?
was like a game. Like I had to gather like 5 objects in this house, right? But this house was really familiar to me, but it wasn't like I felt familiar with the house, but it wasn't like a real house I can memorize. There was some parts that like reminded me of like places I've been almost. But anyways, I'm going around and I had to get these 5 things. And I go into this attic, and pretty much the whole time I'm just running for my life. That was about like most of the details. And I go into the attic, and it's like a little crawl space in the attic. And for some reason, I find a stash of my uncle's weed. With that was just a
Oh,
weird thing I remember. And then she fucking like her neck extends and looks up, and you can see her demonic face. And I hide under this blanket, and dude, I literally almost died there. And then pretty much she went away. I get all 5 things and I run, but then I have to run through these like fences, and I keep jumping through these fences, and eventually I go through like a hedge, and then for
over his
some
head?
reason I sit there and there's a rocking chair, and then literally like it's like a time lapse from like forever. It was so weird, like just a time lapse of like a city getting created, and that was about it. I don't know what
Oh,
the hell is going on, but
bro
it was
saw a
fucking
prophecy.
scary. And then
Is this
like
Revelation?
the most memorable, um it's gonna sound corny as fuck, like it's the most like I don't know, pretty much I just made it, like I just did everything I wanted to do, and it was just me like kind of living off the fruits of my labor, and it was just kind of like damn, I really gotta lock in. So then that's kind of always think about that, because that's always in my mind, just like I gotta work towards my goal every day, because the
Bro
it's
had
way
an
better,
actual dream.
it's a better view from the top, kind of. That's just what it was. But yeah, those are like the 2 dreams I remember. But most of my dreams are actually crazy as shit. I just can't remember them.
Type shit.
All right, so I got 2 more things to add on, and then if y'all want to, we can.
All right.
So with the dream stuff,
I actually write my dreams down. Usually.
so y'all ever have the dreams where it's like you think you've been asleep for a couple seconds, and it's like a dream about you like falling real quick, and you like jump up.
Oh shit, yeah, that
Yeah.
shit's crazy.
That I used to have dreams like that all the time when I was little, and I still have them sometimes now that I'm older. I don't know what those mean, but them should be
I
terrifying, bro.
heard
Cause like,
so. I heard those are apparently supposed to mean you're like losing control or falling out of control or whatever. But I don't really see that, because
of
most of the
what?
time it's just when you fall asleep for a second and wake up. So I don't really think it is that you're losing control. I think it's just sometimes when you fall asleep and wake up immediately, it's just kind of like that. Because most of
And
the time when
then
I have something like that, I'm only asleep for a couple minutes.
Now the ones that are real trippy is when you just like you think you've been asleep for a couple seconds, and nah, bro, it's been like 6 hours.
Oh, damn,
It's
that
like
shit
2 in the
pissed me
morning
off.
now. But and I have one more dream story to tell.
Right.
This one's so goofy. So I had to classify as a nightmare because I was scared when I was little.
Mhm.
So this dream starts off where it's like snowing out, right? And there's a Yeti just fucking people up.
Oh, okay.
Hold up. I think I told you about this before, Xavier. And then out of nowhere, bro, I'm at a school, like it's like recess, it's snowing like a blizzard, and a Yeti just fucking people up. Like and I run to the bathroom to hide, right? And for I used to be like here's some context. I used to be like a really big Call. I'm not a big one. Now I think the game sucks. Yeah, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare and stuff.
Yeah.
Bro, Captain Price was some homeless dude in the bathroom trying to get me to eat beans. And if you
Homeless
know me, I'm a
dude.
really
Okay,
picky eater, bro. Hold up, bro. I'm a really picky eater. I don't like nut. Like I have a bad diet. It's like chicken, watermelon. I'm black.
Oh, I know.
Um,
I know, bro.
watermelon and like steak. Basically, that's like my whole diet. And what's it called? This man got me to eat beans, right? Hold up. This sounds like that's the part that is scary. Um, and this is like a vivid memory. Um, but I eat the beans, bro. I freeze, like turn into like clay or something. I can't move anymore. That shit killed me, and I died. That's why, and I like woke up real quick, terrified of beans
Oh,
and Captain Price and Yetis. Like that's like the most eventful dream of my life, and it's the only one I remember from when I was little, besides the spider one.
all right, bro. I got a few dreams written down here. I'll tell y'all one.
All right,
Okay.
hit us.
Because I usually write this shit down. But anyway. So first off, I had this dream. I was fighting with Jack
Jack Yoder?
Yeah.
Yoder.
Yeah.
Why?
And he did like a single leg on like the left side. And in the dream, like
Jack ain't
I
throwing
think
no
like his
single.
brother was there, like, huh?
Jack ain't throwing no single.
Oh, I know. Because like he fucked it up, and then like he fucked up so bad I like got his back and like suplexed his ass, and we were like on grass.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the whole dream. But this other one's a little more interesting. I was
That's
at
why I
like
lose this dream.
all right. But I was at the How Park, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like a party or some shit with Yaden, and then it was like Caden and Edwin, and then we were looking around for Yaden at first, and then we found him with like his grandma, and he was eating like a big ass burrito, like you could fit 3 people in it. Whoa. And then Caden, like you got like a phone call, and then you like walked away for a while, and then like after a while, I said to Edwin, like, bro, I could go find him. Where the fuck he go? And then I like was walking down like the sidewalk, and then you turn the corner, and you're like covered in blue paint, and somehow I knew you got hit by like a drive-by with paintball guns. And I
Bro,
asked
someone
what happened, and you were like, don't even worry about it.
someone drives by. I got two things that with this, bro. One, you know who probably was calling me?
Hmm.
I love the Red Cross. Can you stop calling my fucking phone? I
That's
blocked
dead
your number
ass, bro.
twice.
For real.
And if anybody ever shoots me with a paintball gun, or like drive by, they better not go. I can't even say this. Never. I'm not gonna make that joke. But they're cooked, bro. I
All right,
better not see you on Monday. That's all I'm saying. If you shoot me with a fucking paintball gun
but then it was
from
like
the hours of 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
then I like it was like I took your phone, and like the ops were laughing on your phone. So I told Edwin and like Yaden, like, we gotta think of something to like get our get back. And we were stressing, and that was basically the whole dream.
All right, so I want to say a couple. Okay, I'm gonna make a comment real quick, and then I'm gonna ask one more question. We're gonna wrap it up because we about to hit an hour and 20 minutes. So, first of all, it's kind of suspicious that most of Xavier's dreams are him grappling dudes. Just want to say. Second of all, for the last
Must not be an
question,
allegation.
this is kind of with the dreams thing. Have any of you guys had sleep paralysis? And if so, have you had it multiple times? And kind of what's the experience? Have you guys had it before?
Nah. I've always wanted to experience with those. I've always wanted to at least
Oh, isn't
experience
it
lucid
bad?
dreaming.
Yeah, dude.
Nah, but it's like people use sleep paralysis to like slip into lucid dreams. So I've always wanted to experience something like that.
No. Okay. So I don't know. So lucid dreams, you can find a way to get into. I'm just a lucky person, dude. I just literally have them all the time. No, sleep paralysis is terrifying, dude. I don't remember what happened, but it was a rainy day, and that's why it was like slightly rainy to where you would hear like one drop on your window every second, kind of thing. It wasn't like crazy rain, but anyways, I wake up, and the way my room was, I could see into the room across from me, and it's just black, and then there's like a shelf. Well, I wasn't thinking right, and I hear the drops on the window, just a slight clicking, and you literally cannot move, physically cannot move,
Mm.
and I just hear that tapping, and my mind immediately went to just like demonic shit, which I don't know why I I'm not scared of demonic. Like I'm not a big believer in that stuff. I don't have the spiritual connection. But when I watch scary movies, I like watching demonic things just because that's what is scary to me. I don't know why that's specifically the thing that's scary to me, but that's always what is scary to me. So I I just immediately went to like demonic stuff when I'm doing this, and I'm sitting there and I'm just imagining like the most scary shit ever just tapping on my fucking wall, and it felt like forever. It was probably only a couple minutes, but you just could not move, and you're just staring there, and dude, it was one of the most scary moments of my life. I don't know, and that was a couple years
Bro,
ago,
personally,
but
I think I'll just like say like something I've always thought of, like because as a kid I was scared of like ghosts and shit all the
yeah,
time, but I always thought like because sort of like I got sort of complex views on religion, but we won't talk about it. Basically, I'm saying it's like if demons and shit are real, then like God is equally as real
oh
in
yeah,
like
definitely,
there with, and it's like I know multiple prayers like it's like I walk through the shadow of the valley of death and I do not fear because God is my shepherd.
hmm
And it's like for the most part I'm not super religious sometimes, but it's like
yeah.
well I mean like it's a whole thing, but it's like anyway
If we're gonna get into
it's like
religion, we have to do that on a different episode, but
yeah
definitely,
yeah. But I was just saying like if that shit's real, then it's like I don't need to be afraid because I got my shepherd. You know, like
yeah,
what am I? Like he beats these guys up
Yeah, you
basically.
do.
yeah. He be dunking on the motherfuckers. All right,
I really do be.
we're gonna wrap it up. I think that was a pretty good episode. I'm still
Yeah,
mad that we lost that last one, but I think
that shit got me pressed for a little, but like it
this one
happened.
was great, guys. So I hope you guys have a great night. I'm gonna end the recording. Subscribe to the What Do You Think podcast. Like and comment for another episode. Enjoy, and also I'll cut it down and make sure there's like a
You know,
smaller video so people can actually
thanks for
fucking
having me
watch it.
on, guys.
Hell yeah.